So it was a way for me to feel safe. And over time, I've learned how to manage, how to figure other ways of feeling safe. I had to, my kid came down, so I had to move my table, so readjust it. Yeah, I had to, it was part of me figuring out how to comfort myself, as a child. And I've learned how to manage it now by being vocal and being able to speak my mind has helped a lot. So anyway, this is just kind of like a quick catch up. And like I said, I did get the divorce. I've had to do some grief counseling. Um, I'm in counseling right now, currently, to whom I adore, and I have two counselors. My counselor is training another counselor, so I have two counselors, and it is perfect. God knew exactly what I needed and who I needed, and it's working out really good for me. Yeah. So we went through some different things I've had to do to work through the grief. I've had to get rid of some pictures. Because every time I open my freaking phone, his freaking face would pop up. And some days I felt like stabbing him between his eyes, and some days I felt like crying. And some days I would remember different things we did and moments and stuff, So every day was different. Every moment was different. I eventually realized that I had to just go moment by moment and that was okay. So she had me get rid of some pictures, and I did. I was supposed to ask a friend to do it, but none of my friends seemed to do it. And I think it's just that thing of, no one wants to be the bad guy. But I think it was better I did it myself. So what I did was I sent the important pictures to my kids, so then they would have the pictures. And then I just deleted them. And I'm still going to be deleting. I've got 26 years of pictures of this man in my life. So that's okay. And that's gotten better. Even seeing his face doesn't cause me the same kind of anguish it did before. It's starting to be like a person I used to know, which is wonderful. It's wonderful. There are still days, but it is definitely much better. Then sleeping alone has been a problem because I haven't slept alone. I mean, right before we were getting ready to go through the divorce, I wound up having to put him out of my bed, which is how we got there. I had to put him out of the bed because his nasty comments. He's in a new religion. I think I mentioned that before, and called Gabari. And in his religion, he would spew some of the most awful things at me and say some of the most horrendous things about me, about other people. I just was like, that's your God? Like, I don't even want to get into it. Like, it was unbelievable. It was painful. Like, if you were trying to win me over or trying to get me to be interested in your belief, in this new belief you found, which there were things about it, I was like, I didn't think about that. Or, but then I'd see his behavior and hear stuff that came out of his mouth, and I'd be like, nah, if that's what you all are, I don't want nothing to do with that. So I was done, but he was saying some very nasty things to me, and not always just about me, but about other people. And early in our marriage, he used to do that about like my family members. He would say some horrible things, and I would be like, that's my so-and-so. And I don't want to say anybody's name on here because I don't want anybody to, there's no need. It's done now. But, there were things he would say in judgment. He was always in judgment of people. And he believes that his religion is, he's supposed to judge people. So it pained me to hear a lot of the things he would say. I found it to be very unnerving, doesn't even really hit the word. I don't know. I know I'm a very empathetic person, but facts are facts. If you don't lost your everlasting mind, you don't lost your everlasting mind. That don't mean I don't love you, but you just lost your everlasting mind. But the excess that he would say things about people and statements he would make were just so hurtful. Often I couldn't take it, and it might have been people on TV, and it would go on all day long, just constant judgment of people left and right, and never for every one finger pointing at somebody else, there are four pointing right back at you, bruh, and never thought of that. It never was. And I would say that to him. I'd be like, dude, you pointing fingers at people, and I could pick a lot of stuff that you need to work on. Like, there's some stuff, but no. There was a time he told me he was perfect. I remember one time he said, I said, I'm not, we were in an argument, and I said, I'm not perfect. And I said, and neither are you. I was like, our goal here is to strive for perfection, for us to be better people and be better people with each other and just in general. And he was like, oh no, I'm perfect. And I was like, I'm gonna scoot over because in case the lightning hits you, I don't want to get hit. But he was like, no, I'm perfect. I've always been perfect. I was like, okay. And that was like, I don't know how far into our marriage, but yeah, he used to say that quite a bit. At one point, he stopped saying it, and I think it just because it literally, like, something about it was always, like, off to me. But yeah, he used to make sure I knew that he was perfect. There's nothing wrong with him. Everything that was wrong with the marriage was me. Anything and everything. It was all me. And unfortunately, because of my history and what I've been through, back here, I knew it was crazy talk. But here, I was like, oh gosh, maybe I am half crazy. Maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that. So, it was a lot to deal with. So, in finding my way through the nights of being alone and these memories and things would come to mind, there were nights I was crying. There were nights where I was like wanting my daughter to sleep in the bed with me, or wanting to go climb in her bed, or just like, it's not ridiculous. It's just, you take somebody who's had somebody with you all these years and then I didn't. But when he was still in the house, like I said, I had to put him out of the bed because there was things he was saying that I couldn't. I felt very uncomfortable. They scared me. They made me very nervous. And I asked him to get out of the bed. I told him he needed to sleep in the living room or leave. And I knew he had nowhere to go. And I definitely could have called the police and had him put out, and I could have done all that, but that's not me. And it's not for the lack that I don't love the man. I love the man. I love the man to this day. I love the man. I don't like who he is. I don't like the person he is. I don't like the way that he chooses to treat me. I don't like the way that he chooses to be in this life. That is not something that I want on the porch with me rocking watching the grandkids play, drinking lemonade. That was my dream for us. On a wraparound porch, he and I, holding hands, rocking in our rocking chairs, drinking lemonade, watching the grandkids or great grandkids or whatever play. I don't want that kind of person with me. I don't want that kind of person influence my grandchildren. So I had to ask him to leave the bed. And that was hard and very difficult and very painful to do. Because like I said, it's not that I don't love the man. I've loved him for 20 something years. I know things about him no one's known. I've seen things that no one's seen. I've experienced things with him that nobody has experienced. So I also know that he doesn't have to be this way. It is a choice. So when I asked him to leave, it was like hard for me to do that. Really difficult for me to ask him to leave. But I knew that it was the better choice. It was the best choice to have him leave the bed and go sleep somewhere else. Just better. So he did. And he slept out there for a little bit, and I never liked my kids to see that. That was another thing. I never wanted them seeing that. I didn't think that was right for them to see one of their parents sleeping out on the living room, but it could not be avoided. It was him or me. And if I thought that I could have got good sleep out in the living room, I definitely would have went. But I didn't. I put him out there. So towards the end of our marriage, we did not sleep together for a while. And then it just became more and more anger and evil statements and mean things that he would say to me periodically that became overwhelming. So that's it, all that to say this, that it's been a while since I've slept in the bed with my ex-husband or man, period. Right? So I would say last year around this time is probably, well, right after my birthday in February. So right around then would be the last time there was a hunk of a person in my bed. And I spent all these years in the bed with him, cuddling up to him, put my feet on him, all that stuff. So it became really difficult to sleep. I was having trouble sleeping. So my therapist came up with a great idea that my next time she saw me, I needed to have a body pillow. So I am now the proud owner of a body pillow. And maybe one day I'll do video from my bedroom. And you can see my setup, my bedroom setup. It's quite interesting. There's a body pillow. There's 2 Yodas. And there's a Hello Kitty. And there's my friend Wally the whale, to whom I sleep on. And they are my comfort. And I'm quite fine with that. So the pillow pretty much stays in one spot, just right there, and I roll over to it if I need to. And I've gotten better to where sometimes I don't really need to. It's gotten easier as time has gone on to be able to sleep alone. But I want you to understand that if you've been, I don't know if your marriage was as long as mine or relationship or whatever, situationship, whatever it was, it will take time. And be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be understanding. It's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to miss them. It's okay. I had nights where I would look through pictures and bawl my eyes out and have to be really quiet because my son's room is next door, and I would be in there bawling, like bawling. But that's gotten better. I am proud of myself because I am now at a block your ass station. So I now have him blocked on my phone. His name is not on there. In place of his face is the middle finger. I'm going to be honest. I am not a perfect person, but I'm just going to be honest. This helps me feel better. When he used to call me, the ringtone was this song, I Hate You. I've grown since then. That is not the ringtone. The picture is still the same. And instead of his name, I put on there the moment that I knew he betrayed me. I just, to remind myself of why there is no going back, that on his body is another woman's name. And that's what's there. So, that for me has helped me. And judge me if you want to. I really don't care. I'm surviving. And I'm thriving. And Am I going through shit? Yeah, I do. Do I have bad days? I do. But more and more of them have nothing to do with him. If he paid his alimony, things would be better. They wouldn't be perfect, but they would definitely be better. Uh, and I'm deciding what I'm going to do about that. But right now, it's about me being the best me for myself and for my kids and for my grandchildren. I'm find myself. It has been scary. Like, I went on a trip and I had such anxiety because I was by myself. I went to the airport by myself. I got on the plane by myself. I waited for the plane to come in by myself. I got on the plane by myself. I sat by myself. I was used to having my husband to talk to or lean on. I was there by myself. I got into a town by myself. I went to Vegas and I went by myself. And I went ahead of time on purpose. My daughter wanted me to come in when they came in, but I needed to do that. And I'm the type of person, I like to do things I'm scared of. I like to challenge myself. I do not like fear having some kind of control over me, so I intentionally do stuff that I'm scared to do. Now, I would not tell any of my kids or anybody that I'm scared. It's very rare that I'll share that with them, but I will do it because I know I'm scared, because I know it causes an anxiety attack, because I know it sends my heart into palpitations. Why? Because they are all going to go on with their life and they need to. And I have to be okay with or without a spouse. Most definitely, I have to be okay without one because there is no guarantee that there will be somebody that I could say, yeah, you're worth me taking this risk on. You know, outside of God saying, "Hey, Ash, this is so and so, so and so. This is Ashley. I've been, he's what I've been working on for you. She's what I've been working on for you. Outside of that, it is a gamble and a risk, and I'm okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is I'm not okay being a whole person before I bring anybody else into my life. I will not do that. I will not going into a relationship, a marriage, or anything half of a person. I'm not doing that because I've learned that I'm not going to give the opportunity for me to go in and bring old habits, or to, if that person has their own issues, I need to see their issues. But if I haven't dealt with mine, I may not see theirs. So that's where I'm at. Is I'm dating me. I'm hanging out with me, being with me, getting to know me again, renewing my relationship with me. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm okay with that. It's not a bad place to be. It's actually a good place. But it took me a while to be okay with it. I was scared for a while to just drive around. Like, I would drive around, and I would never tell my kids. So sometimes I would drive around town, not wanting to go home because I didn't want to bother them, and I was not used to going home and he wasn't there. As much of a shit as he was to me, I still could be like, hey, shit, you know. And maybe some days he was nice to me, and maybe some days he wasn't. But I I realized how wounded I was because I remember a conversation, and I don't know who I had it with, but I said, right now, this was then, not now, but then I was like, the devil that I know is better than the devil that I don't know. So I'll put up with this one because I don't know what I might get. That is wounded. And I was wounded. And it hurts me to know that I was in that place and okay with it. So, anyway, this video is going way longer than it should have. The new format is going to be me reading the journals because I found a bunch of my journals since the move. So I'll be reading periodically my journals and then do a little discussion. Videos probably won't be as long as this one. This one is probably going to be about 35 minutes. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. But I had to catch you guys up. For those of you that stayed this long, God bless you. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death. But I found a bunch of my journals, and I'm going to start with one particular one. Matter of fact, you'll see I have the same clothes on because I'm going to do the video for that now so that I can set them up to come out. But I will be putting out the videos from journals that I read just because I'm hoping it help somebody, and knowing that the hurt and some of my challenges may be familiar. And I want you to know that you're not alone and that it's okay and that you will be okay. Just don't quit. When going through the fire, don't quit. When you're going through the storm, don't stop. That is the worst thing to do. The best thing to do is to keep going. So, all you writers, keep riding through the storm. Thanks for riding along with me. I hope you had a great day. I hope you have a great day, afternoon, or evening. I look forward to talking to you. Love you. Bye.